I'm Sarah Barton, and I'm in Lindon 12th Ward. The story that I wanted to share today about the temple was this one time when I went, and I had a really full schedule that day, and I had just felt like I needed to go to the temple, but I made an appointment kind of last minute. And this is like already when I had decided to start regularly going to the temple, because like originally I just wasn't that focused on it, and I actually didn't have much of a testimony or like even a draw for it, which was really interesting because I was so interested in like the gospel scriptures, Jesus Christ, like just everything. But the temple was like just this other thing that I was like, oh, that's super awesome. I have no feelings about it. But I decided to start going like very regularly, and I quickly changed that, like those feelings about it. So I had this really just tight schedule on that day, and I felt like I needed to go. So I went like last minute, and I had just come from like working out, and I didn't have time to take a shower. So I thought like, okay, I was gonna do ceilings since you're really like close to people. So I thought, okay, I'll just spray some perfume and like that'll be good. So I like run home and I like change into my dress, and I like am thinking while I'm looking at like my shelf that has like perfume on it, I'm like, yeah, don't forget to spray that, and then you can like run out the door and head to the temple. And like somehow within the 3 seconds I like had forgotten, and I was like, the whole way there I was kind of thinking about it, and not because I was so worried about it. It was just something that was so out of character for me. And so I got there and I thought, okay, like just put it out of my head, like I'm here and I'll go through doing the ceilings. And so I went up to the office, and there was a woman who was in our group, and she had a mask on, and I didn't think much of it. I just kind of thought like, oh, maybe she's sick or doesn't want to get sick. And so then we go in to the ceiling room, and we're doing ceilings, and the sealer mentioned something or asked her some question where she like mentioned that she was like really allergic to perfume. And I just like hadn't thought about like, oh, maybe that like how your small things like could affect other people, or how much like Heavenly Father really is in all of the tiniest little details. That like I was upset at myself for like making a mistake, but this wasn't like necessarily a mistake, and it was to help like another one of his children, and I had viewed it completely different. And it was a helpful moment for me to like understand and learn that the way that I perceive things is not always the correct way, and that to really lean on his understanding, and to kind of just allow a lot of those things that are kind of cultural, like that we're taught, like, you know, at least in my family, it's like don't be late and you don't make mistakes, things like that. That's just not always God's way, and that's not how he always works. In the temple, I've had a lot of experiences, but some of the main things are just his love and his tender mercies. And I think there I learn often how much I can like really trust him in the small details, that when I think things should be a certain way or go a certain way, that that's not always correct, and that I can just trust him. In his house, I have learned to trust the Lord and learn more about Jesus Christ every single time I go, in the smallest ways.